weird.
Garage lockdown lifted.
There's not much time. Half the comm systems are down. So, if I don't get out of this alive... An infestation started, and it's been 12 hours, and these two happened. They're in a frenzy. I've never seen anything like it. It must be widespread across the colony. We've heard nothing from anyone.
You need evidence, Jim. Nobody's gonna believe you otherwise. Let's transfer this data to a portable drive.
Transfer error. Data corrupt.
What? Come on, I just watched it. There's gotta be a backup. Something I can take with me. Let's see. Looks like everything's backed up at a second location. Distribution center, top floor. Okay, good. Now let's open up that garage.
Containment system off online. Alert. Breach on level 3. Repeat. Breach on level 3. Strike crew has been alerted. Take cover in designated areas until all clear is given. Alert. Alert. Condition red. This is not a drill. Repeat. This is not a drill.
grid. I'm lucky I'm not dead already. Nevik lied. Braddock lied. I can't trust anybody, but I've got to tell somebody. What the hell do I do?
Performing containment analysis. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please remember to report any indigenous life forms within the station to the appropriate zone manager. Have a good day.
Cross actual, this is Page. Do you copy? Damn interference. Braddock, can you hear me? I found some abandoned Nevik base. Seems like it's been here a long time. Which is pretty funny, since you've been telling us we're the first humans to set foot here. Damn it, this ain't gonna work. I'm better off taking her inside for now.
Performing containment analysis. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please remember to report any indigenous life forms within the station to the appropriate zone manager. Have a good day. Cargo lift to distribution center activated. distribution center. Please remain indoors for your safety.
Dead. Not surprised. And the power would be... Yeah, I'm feeling too hot about this place. Just need to flip this breaker.
Weather station online.
Hello, cooking. Okay, let's get this back up transferred.
Files transferring. Processing. Complete. Warning. Cardinal class storm approaching. This facility is an emergency lockdown. Garage lockdown in effect.
Locked. There's gotta be an override.
Garage lockdown in effect. Elevator lockdown has been bypassed.
Now we should be back in business. Goddamn break here!
Do you play?
Who are you? Where am I?
I am Mira. You are in no danger here. Do not be afraid.
I'm still on E.D.N. 3. Let's agree to disagree.
Rest. Your treatments have taken well, but your wounds were grave.
My wounds? Yes, I fell. Hard. I should be dead. You were there. Wait, I've seen you before. At the satellite relay and the abandoned base. You led me there.
You deserve to know the truth about this world.
How long have I been here?
12 or 13 days.
What?
We used the planet's nectar. My father's science.
Sister, I've rehabbed injuries before. Should have been down for months. So, all respect to your daddy's nectar, but one of us is a crazy woman here.
Here.
I need to go home. Fix my rig. Wait, where's my rig?
I will take you to it, I promise. For now, rest.
Look, Princess, unless you're planning to break my legs again, I need to check in. And you're gone. That's great. I'm not a prisoner with the damn door.
To give faith the giver of life, remain as one with our world, preserve against corruption, and protect and defend our brethren with eternal vigilance against all dangers that may remain the past, and the future will be ever brighter.
Very good, class. Now we'll open our textbooks to page 42.
Sometime next week to be safe. This is strange indeed. Where does the vector begin? Show me what you found.
I was just charting that.
Howdy.
Something before me! It is a dark day. The ghost of our greatest foe returns to haunt us. A thief in our midst, here to steal our lifeblood. Should not have come. Did you think we would forget?
Stop! Stop, Father, please!
Mira, What do you know of this thief?
Forgive me, Father. It wasn't him. It was me. I had to heal him. I've been watching him. He is a good man, Father. He will not allow harm to come to us. I ask only that you trust me.
Ida pleads for you. She is young. She is not a fool. Precious is the cost our people paid to save you. You will pay us back.
I convinced him not to kill you.
Yeah, I caught that. He was part of the original colony?
My father and all of the elders. Abandoned here by Nevik. 40 years of unimaginably brutal winters have magnified his hatred.
Come back with me. We can help get all of you off this planet.
In time, he may be convinced. Meanwhile, you have a debt to repay.
No problem. My rig's got a tank full of T energy.
That won't do. What you collect is far too dirty to replace what I took to mend you. But there is another way you can repay your debt. It will require your construction rig.
Just point me in the right direction. At least they didn't kick me out of the camp with just my pistol. Let's see what this thing can do. And the power's out. The generator can't be far. Looks like we're good here. We're all set. Gertie, you are a sight for sore eyes. Let's get you back on your feet. You walking? Let's give it a go. Testing 1, 2, 3, radio check. Cronus, it's Jim. You read me? Jim Payton here, back from the dead. You copy? Yeah, must be out of range.
Jim, you got your rig working.
Oh, hi. You, have a radio. Yeah, she'll pull through fine.
Good. You will need it for this task. There is a health crisis among my people. We have had a breakout of Watling's disease in the camp. Even our healing techniques are ineffective against it.
I remember getting vaccinated for that before I left Earth. They've had that cured for years.
Only if you have access to such medicine. We did find a misplaced medical supply drop in Pickett's Folly, but it is inaccessible to us. If you could unseal that pod, it would truly save lives. You will need your rig's winch to access the area.
What makes you so sure I'll even help you?
I have watched. I have listened. Jim Payton is a man who pays a life debt. You saved your comrade, the Frenchman, the day you arrived.
Maybe not my finest decision.
Beyond that, we have what you need. Your people seek to harness this planet's energy as we have done. I hope that we can help you in due time, but first there is much that must be healed. Prove your virtue today to my father, and that may be a start.
Wow, look at that. Is that a lake of T energy? Yeah, no, that's lava. Lake of lava. Yeah, that makes sense. must be the medicine. Hope it's still good. Looks like we're good here.
You did it! We will get this to our doctors right away. In the meantime, my father wishes to see you. Follow me.
Who is that? What does he want? Shh! He's looking. Don't make eye contact.
So this is why you were following me? Why you saved my life? You had errands only my rig could run?
I watched you because I learned from what I see. I saved you so that you would not die.
Great. You've got the saying nothing thing down pat, you know that? Listen, princess. Wait, are you really a princess? Is your father the king?
We have no kings. He leads only in that he leads.
Down pat.
I mean, it is he who led the Forgotten to safety, taught us to survive. He calmed the Great Frenzy and learned how to harvest this planet's nectar without causing another.
Again with the nectar. That's a ridiculous word, by the way.
It is apt. I'm sorry if it troubles you.
Now I'll get over it. The Forgotten is nice, though. Whoa, what's up?
A breach. Were you followed?
Followed by who?
Perimeter breach! We need assistance!
This way! Go on ahead of me. I will provide support from the parapets. Go!
behavior for that species. They're normally only aggressive when attacked.
Come, Jim. My father awaits.
A man of honor and a Nevik uniform. A true paradox.
You hate them like you know them well. You were Nevik too once.
Long ago, I was. We came here from Earth, as you did. Come to tame the wilds, rendering fire from ice. We were unprepared.
Look, Chief, I don't claim to know what you've been through, but I know the odds you're up against. You're not wrong that we're here for a reason, but it's not to bring you harm, I swear. Let me help. Let me talk to my boss, Braddock.
Silence! So it comes to this. A hand extends. They beckon. Come in from the cold. Long have we waited. When they fled to ships and flew away, I was certain they would return. If we could just last a week, surely they would come back for us. Persevere for a month. No doubt our rescue would follow. If only we could survive a year, or 5, or 10, or 36! For 2 generations, we survived without their compassion. Invisible, cheating death. And finally, you would lead them to our door. Assurances of safety. Trust, Scorpion. A man such as you had better know the nature of the beast you serve.
Do not be discouraged, Jim. It is much to ask of him, and we have only just begun our work. Please, enjoy the hospitality of our camp, such as it is. You may find some things you need, and it is good for our people to see you are a friend. When you are ready, meet me outside the camp gates.
They call us elders, those of us who came from Earth. I know we don't look our age, Some think the exposure to all this T energy keeps one young and strong. Others think the cold temperature preserves you. As for the young ones, the snowborn, they have no idea what an 80-year-old is supposed to look like.
I know it doesn't look it today, but we've got a pretty docile fleet of domesticated acrid. Took some doing, and I have the scars to prove it. But they were stable, right up until that incident earlier. Could hardly calm them down after that. Had to sedate the whole pack. I just hope they sleep it off.
Quartermaster. Long time since I had that title. If it's supplies you need, I can sell you some. That dirty T energy you carry isn't worth too much to us, but I can find uses for it. I'll tell you what, since you've already helped by opening that base, I'll make it a generous exchange rate.
appears they have given up on finding the female pilot. A replacement has arrived, and he has already made several rescues of his crewmates. I believe he will be worth keeping an eye on. Perhaps he will respond.
Are you the one we've heard about? Our new champion patrolling the plains in some giant robot?
I don't know where to begin correcting you, but I'm Jim.
But it's true, you're a man known to take a quest in search of your fortune?
I'm a freelance contractor. So, yeah, I guess I am.
Excellent. I'm conducting an ethological study of the albino tarka of E.D.N. 3. No doubt you've heard of them. As rare and elusive a creature as walks this world of ours.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen anything like that.
Exactly. That's how you know they're real. That and the telltale sound of their mating call. I've isolated the exact frequency. When played back, it will mesmerize them long enough to collect a DNA sample. The trick is finding them, for they blend seamlessly into their surroundings, and you will hear them long before you see them. If you provide me with their DNA samples, I will share teachings that will enhance your abilities. I'll add the mating call frequency to the sound output of your wrist computer, which it will constantly broadcast. Oh, don't worry. Humans can't hear it.
Oh, like a dog whistle.
Sure. What's a dog? The albino tarka are scattered across the whole planet, so if you keep your ears open, you're bound to run into one. Happy hunting!
In order to repay your life debt, one task remains. There is another installation from the first colony, closed to us, but your machine may breach it. There are resources there we can use, supplies and weapons.
Whoa, weapons? It's a little intense for a first date, don't you think?
One does not arm one's enemy. My father does not believe you will help us. This will convince him you mean no harm.
I'll be back before supper. on this planet either locked or out of power.
Welcome to Security Station Zebra. Non-personnel are required to sign in at the Operations Center on Floor 4.
Damn it!
It's sealed. Oh, where's the override?
Overridden.
Let's see what that did. drop in the water.
Main floor elevator online. Armory seals disengaged.
The armory's open. That should be enough for them. Still got it, Peyton. Let's just fix this quick and get the hell out of here.
Main doors back online.
You ready to trade in some albino Tarka DNA?
It's done. The armory is open. Try not to make me regret arming you to the teeth.
Jim, I do not know what to say. You have repaid your life debt 100-fold. Please accept this inadequate gift of thanks. It is a magnetic upgrade to your grappling hook, allowing you to connect to select magnetized metal objects. It will give you access to previously inaccessible areas. I found it invaluable in my first colony explorations.
Thanks. I could see that coming in handy.
There is a magnetized plate nearby if you would like to test it out. There is even something there you might find valuable. Also, my father is in that area tending the greenhouse. He desires to speak with you.
Will do, Mira.
No turning back now. I drew him out, and I let him glimpse me at the relay station. If fortune favors my enterprise, his curiosity will lead him to the truth. After that, I can only hope he is the man of honor I take him for.
You have done much good for Mira, for my people. But now I must ask for your indulgence. If you would aid an old man needful of closure. In the buried past, amidst the chaos of frenzy, many friends were lost. Some known, but others, fates were unaccounted for, mysteries that haunt me. unanswered questions, inaccessible answers. Go where I may not. Uncover what you can of 4 colonists. Set my mind at rest, and faithfully I will share great teachings with you.
When you are ready to return to your base, meet me outside our camp, and I will show you home.
I'll have it stowed and waiting in your munitions locker.
Sorry, it's a little cramped in here. Wasn't really meant for passengers. I'll try not to make this awkward.
Pardon me.
You comfortable?
It will suffice. Head that way, back towards the lava. I like your collections. I didn't realize you shared my hobby.
Oh, just some bric-a-brac to remind me of home.
Who is she?
Oh, that's my wife, Grace. Let her know I'm okay is pretty much job 1 right now.
She's so beautiful. I didn't realize you had a wife.
10 years and counting. Had a baby boy a year ago. God, it's been a year.
And you left her to come here?
I came here for her. Her and Hank. Things were getting harder, and it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down.
I see. Jim, I know you are a man of honor and great loyalty, so it pains me to ask this of you. But you must not tell the men of Nevik about us. You must not tell anyone we're here.
Are you serious? How am I supposed to make a place for your people if nobody knows you exist?
You don't know the risks I have taken just in trusting you. I can see your nature, but Nevik... If the corporation learns their lost colony had survivors, after all the pains they took to keep it secret, they would start asking questions, demanding answers. And sooner or later, they will come to take what they think is theirs.
Look, I know not everybody has the nicest things to say about Nevik, but Braddock's a good man. I trust him.
You do? And he trusts you?
I think he does.
Then, why did he lie to you about the first colony?
Well, I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Until you know? Until you would stake the lives of your family on his loyalties, I ask only that you do not stake the lives of mine.
I think you know the way from here. If not, I've marked it on your map. Soon you'll be back in radio range. There is one last thing. Our Our water purifiers are almost 50 years old. If you can locate a replacement for the one I left in your cockpit, it would be another small step. That and I would be grateful.
There's C4 explosives for the win. Okay, this looks familiar.
Hi again. Kinda thought I'd have heard from you by now. Maybe you didn't get my last message? With Hank and the walking? And yes, I realize you can't answer me. Just answer me, okay?
Mayday. All units, this is Coronis. We are under attack by Acrid Swarm. Large quantities need backup. Does anyone copy? Over.
Coronis, roger that. Flying to assist. Be there ASAP.
Holy cow, Jim, is that you? I don't know how you're alive, but we need you, brother. Hurry. Coronis out. We've got flyers coming in from the interior canyon. Markham, can you assist? No can do. We've got our own problems in the rack area. Hutchings, can you assist in the deck area? Hutchings? Anybody? It's Jim. The cavalry's arrived.
Yes, Jim! Kick him in the ass!
Sit tight, kid. I'll be right there.
Jim! You're back! That's awesome! Please come save my ass.
Well, ain't that a kick in the teeth? My favorite customer's alive. And just in time for the party. Here they come. Show me what you got. Some shooting there. I knew you had skills. Okay, you better get going. I can handle myself here. See you later, Jim. Eat leg, you maggots! Aha! Dad! Back from vacation, huh?
Yeah, real summer at the beach.
Welcome back, boss! And this is why I never leave the hangar. I bet I can shoot more of them than you can, Pedro.
Nice! I bet you really miss this one projecting its insecurities.
What? Talk English, boy!
Looks like that's the last of them.
Jim, we need you back on the main deck. More bogies on approach.
On my way.
Dude, what if they come back?
Don't worry, petit gamin. I'll stay here for...
here at Corona's.
Doc? What are you doing back here?
I heard the same distress call you did, no doubt. Been trying to find out what's causing this frenzy, and I think the answer's in Kenny's lab. But we need more firepower to punch through.
Roger that. I'm inbound.
Survival tip number 6. Never stray from your umbilical in sub-zero temperatures. The umbilical field provides supplemental power to your environment suit, increasing your level of warmth and powering tactical readouts that your suit's battery could otherwise not support. Stay smart. Stay close.
Relentless. When is this gonna stop? James, get your ass in gear. We need you at the lab.
This facility is an emergency lockdown. Elevator lockdown has been bypassed. Diverting auxiliary power to hydraulics. System engaged. Warning. Intrusion detected. Initiating defense protocols. Stand in the scanning zone to begin decontamination procedure. Initiating diagnostics. Performing containment analysis. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please remember to report any indigenous life forms within the station to the appropriate zone manager.
James, over here! Listen, your resident super genius built some kind of experimental machine that's drawing the acrid here and agitating them more than usual.
Why would Kovacs build something to cause this?
You're asking the wrong scientist. See the quarantine room in the center of the lab? Right through the glass there? You blast your way in and put a stop to this mess. We'll keep them off your tail.
Jim! Good heavens! How long have you been not dead? Oh, you're just in time to witness my breakthrough. Isn't it spectacular? Look at them all.
We can't hold out much longer up here. Requesting immediate assistance.
Jim was on his way to stop the cause of all this. Jim, do you copy?
I'm working on it, guys.
Nevic equipment must be reported to the appropriate sector manager.
Destroying the prototype was quite unnecessary. I'm sure I only needed to adjust the frequency.
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Hope saving your life didn't put you out.
Oh no, I forgive you. I know carnage and mayhem is part of your nature, and without it, you just wouldn't be you. Or nearly as useful to me.
You made a device that can drive the Acrid crazy.
Well, I would need to run more experiments to know for sure. Establishing a baseline of sanity for these creatures might be prohibitive of itself. Nevertheless, I'm glad the base was able to witness my breakthrough.
What, you telling me you did this on purpose?
No, not at all. But the experiment is still a resounding success. The Acrid were influenced. Don't you see? I figured out how they communicate, and I've replicated it.
James, a moment. Listen, I don't want to cause a general panic or anything, but just glancing at Coronas while heading in, she's in bad shape. The way the storms are increasing in intensity, I'm concerned it's only a matter of time until the structural integrity is compromised.
I don't know, Doc. Seems like a pretty good reason to panic. You got any suggestions?
I may. There are some tests I'd like to run, but I'd need your help. Wait for my call and we'll chat properly. In the meantime, I'm sure Braddock wants to catch up with you.
They've stopped. The Acrid are retreating. Looks like Delta Station's in the clear.
The swarm is subsiding in the hangar as well. Whatever you did seemed to work, Jim. We're ever thankful.
I'm happy to help. Glad to be back home.
Science is not an exact science. At its best, science is chaotic and unpredictable. Often produces a foul odor that you cannot scrub from your fingers. Nature has bottomless mysteries and contradictions, fanfare of ironies and impossibilities. Male seahorses bearing litters. Frogs consuming their own offspring. Entire population infused with its planet's lifeblood. I've observed these things with my own eyes. I've carved the verities of truth from them with my bare hands. Any answer, and I do mean any answer, can be dissected into being. Any secret can be cut open when the scalpel is sharp enough. This is science, right? 80% patience and 20% is cutting things open. Until next time, Mother.
Hey, boss. Nice to see everything still running as smooth as ever.
I knew you're still alive. So where the hell you been? So, you fought a G-class acrid, fell down the side of a mountain, landed on the other side of Shack's Peak, and somehow survived for 2 weeks before you got back into comm range?
Thankfully, the rig was flush with rations and ammo. Lucky timing, I guess.
I don't know if you've got a good luck charm or you are one.
Funny how often luck feels just like getting my ass kicked.
Jim, you know, I take you at your word, of course, but I'm sensing there's a little more to your story.
Well, now that you mention it, there is this.
What is... Where did you find that?
Sensing that you already know the answer to that.
Don't toy with me, Peyton. What did you find?
Why don't you tell me what I found? We're the first humans to set foot on this planet, so obviously I didn't find some 50-year-old Nevek base, did I?
Keep your voice down.
Is that really all you have to say?
No. It's important you understand something, Jim. Keeping the first colony under wraps wasn't my idea. It's one of the terms I had to agree to for Nevek to greenlight this mission in the first place. Perception is vital to their interests. I'll go to great lengths to conceal such a debacle. Coronis was set to land far, far from the original site, but the storm forced us down here. Nearer to the truth than I could have even ever hoped.
Hoped? Why would you hope for this?
That's why. General Charles Braddock, commander of the 1st Neo-Venus Colonial Expeditionary Force.
Your old man led the first colony.
Led it, and lost it. And he was never the same. Something happened here. Something you would never talk about.
All right, so... you're here to what? Fulfill your father's dreams? Redeem his failures?
I'm here to solve the energy crisis. And maybe get some answers with your help. Consider this an opportunity. A standing contract for further investigation. Not for Coronis, but for me personally. And I'll pay a premium for your ongoing discretion.
So I get to lie to everybody, too?
If a word of this reaches Nevek, they'll take back the whole operation. Put it under paramilitary command. I hate lying to the men, Jim, but it's for their own good. Trust me.
I'll see what I can see.